Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody had a lovely day. And with that being said, let's dive into the TA. We did indeed get that capitulation date today we talked about in yesterday's video, and I'm actually going to start off with this over here on the Fear and Greed Index. This hit a low of 19 today, intraday. Come over here. I don't know if you guys can see the whole thing, but as we could see, the last time we bottomed out was at 22. So we got underneath that. Well, I mean, technically the last time was 26. This was the true bottom, but we started getting our, big 3 to 5% bounces that we kept making new lows with, that kept putting in divergences, as we could see over here. But the lowest you went over here was 17. You went as low as 19 today. So downside is certainly limited. I think we have a low with what I'm going to show you today. I'm going to do my best to keep today's video short. We're going to shoot for under 15 minutes here. But as we can see over here, this is the NASDAQ Maclellan Oscillator. We didn't get today's data yet. I'm not going to wait for it to come in to make the video. But since the NASDAQ did go 1.2% lower today, I'm assuming this is going to, come down into oversold, like, where these last three really oversold readings were. Regardless, guys, downside is limited from here on out. It was limited from yesterday. We were talking about if you get one more down day, this is going to present a golden buying opportunity. We specifically spoke about this ticker right here, Amazon. If you had one more down day at the bottom over here, you were going to come down here on the daily RSI to where you got buyers stepping in last time before a pretty sick, nasty rip. All right, 10% in 2 trading sessions. That's pretty good. 2 to 3 trading sessions. That's what I think we probably are going to get over here. Those 10%. We only had 5% so far. I think we're probably going to get above 220 in the short term here. That is what I'm thinking on Amazon. We're going to get the reversion to the mean. But, down here in the golden pocket, when you have the RSI deeply oversold, that is the time to buy. That is not when you look for more downside. Don't care what anybody says. That's just how it has been for years now. And if you've been trading against that, you have not been doing it right on these dips. You've not been making money. You can't, you long right here. When this thing is down here, you look for longs. That is what you do. All right. Now, coming back over here to QQQ, we can see that the 4-hour RSI here is already oversold for a while now. This is where you've been getting your bounces. And even if it is not going to mark a bottom, you still do have it giving you decent, we're going to say those 3 to 5% bounces I was talking about. That is what I am expecting here. I think we're probably in a good spot for that here in the golden pocket. We held support here at 511.05 today. I'm not going to say this daily candle is convincing by any means, but Amazon, this thing has certainly been moving with the market. Like, certainly the market has been moving down. Amazon has been taking the most, the biggest beating. If this thing is turning around, I doubt, and if it starts moving up from here, I doubt the market's not going to go up. Like, this Amazon here has been moving with the market. We can see over here on SPY, you put in a hammer candlestick today. All right, it's not the prettiest here, but it was right off of the golden pocket here, the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement. It's exactly what we talked about in yesterday's video. You swept 590.49 support, came down to the 0.618 fib, and you are bouncing back from there. That is what we are looking for. If you were to lose 596, which was, what was 596, guys? Stay with me. It was right here over at the 0.786 fib. We can actually bring it right there. Was it right here? Yeah, I guess so. 595, I guess we were saying. If I lose 595, you're probably going to have a straight shot down to 590. And as we see, that is where we are. And that is right on the weekly 21 EMA. That's this on SPY. And then QQ, you're also right on the weekly 21 EMA. So on the downside for QQQ here, you're going to watch 511.05, hold 508.50, or bad things can happen. You can revisit 500. We don't want to see that. On the upside of resistance, we're going to be watching 522.19. There's really nothing above there. So that's just what we're going to be paying attention to. 522.19, 525.97, and then 531.24. 525.97 is a big spot. That's where the daily moving averages are. So if we really do have a big snapback here, that would be a level of interest or an area of interest there. SPY support, we're going to watch 590.49 as is what supported price today. Right below you have the golden pocket, so we're going to have 585. That's the gap fill, the gap over here that's left open here. If we come down, it'll be gap fill, and then we can expect a bounce. I mean, it's either going to be here or it's going to be down here. But as we could see, everything's pretty oversold as it is. I do think this is going to lead to, a larger bounce back here. And then, resistance 598.51, 602.13. That's the big spot over here on SPY. And then above there, we're just going to pay attention to new all-time highs. All right. Coming over here to VIX, I'll jump forward here. This is like another thing that suggests to me, like, hey, all right, I don't think VIX is just about a spike here. I don't think volatility is going to spike. I think the market's about to get bought up, especially with how Amazon's looking over there. You have SPY with the lower wick and VIX over here with the upper wick. That is a recipe for VIX is going to fall. SPY is going to move up. That's what's probably going to be the case here. Now, what happens if VIX pulls back to over here? I'm really not sure. Maybe it finds buyers or maybe revisit 2204. We talked about this in yesterday's video. I said, I don't know if it's going to be different, but this is where you sold off from. And I actually mentioned this morning, I think in the morning brief this morning in the Discord. If not, I put it in index updates. This thing over here has been selling from over here. So, I'm not saying this time is going to be the same, but until it changes, don't expect anything to be different. That's typically my approach to the market. Don't expect things to be different. Like over here on Amazon, daily RSI is down in the absolute gutters, hitting down here 2650. Don't expect things to change. That is, a spot that has only been hit once over the past over 2 years now. Yeah, over 2 years. Don't expect things to change. You're also coming to a big break and retest level. I was thinking it was going to test it. It did not. And all of a sudden, it was just, shooting up. You can see this pretty beautiful here. Pretty vertical, V-shaped recovery action. Looking nice. Amazon has moved well in the past. Going over here to IWM. Daily time frame, guys. Your RSI is just about in oversold territory. At the bottom, it was just about there. I'm not sure if the bottom's in over here on IWM. I'm really not sure. But again, with how Amazon is looking, I do think the overall market is probably going to be moving up with it. So I'm not saying up with Amazon, but if Amazon's going to be moving up, the overall market's probably going to move up. It's not going to move against it. Everything usually moves together. So we have one big picture that we'd like to draw here on this channel. And overall, we think I made the call in yesterday's video. Next 1 to 2 trading sessions, market's going to start pumping. That's the bottom. You're going to have a major bottom put in. That's what I'm thinking. Like I said, fear and greed index, this thing doesn't, get down here. And when it does get down here, you have your actual bottoms where you rally for months. That's what's probably going to be the case. We just spent 2 months down here. We just hit all-time highs where this didn't. Okay, you were neutral into all-time highs, and then you pull back. And, we're not too far off of those all-time highs, guys. This is the golden pocket from the whole move up we just had. It's the retracement. It's what, I personally like to watch here. This is the golden entry. That's what I'm saying. When things, come together like this, our big picture point of view, we're putting the puzzle piece together. We're probably about to get a pump. That's just that. DIA over here, you found buyers off of your 433.20 support down there with your 431.42 to 433.20 demand zone. You found buyers, proved its demand for a third day in a row. Watch 438.70, and then if you can get above there, you're going to be paying attention to 441.07. Get above there, good things happen. That's that. All right, I'll just show you guys this. We are at the actual bottom of this bold flag looking thing we got going over here. Channel, whatever you want to call this, we're at the bottom of it. So I didn't think this was going to be the case like that. It's pretty crazy, but it was. So that is something to talk about and keep in the back of your mind. But even if you do continue lower a little bit, you're going to have the daily RSI in oversold territory. Now, the past 3 times this spot has been tested on the daily RSI has marked the bottom over here for the MAGS ETF. 1, 2, 3. It didn't exist before these, but this was at the July correction over here. This is over here, the April 2024 correction. This over here, the August, Black Monday correction we had over here where NASDAQ fell off a cliff. It still marked the bottoms on all of these These were big corrections. So we're back down there and people are getting bearish right now, guys. The time to be bearish was, I may have been wrong a little bit there. I didn't think the market was going to fall off a cliff. So, I was definitely wrong a bit there. But like, if you weren't, maybe you got that part right, but if you're still sitting there bearish, you're about to get it wrong. And if you weren't bearish at the top, but now you're bearish for some reason because price moved all the way down here, now everything's oversold and looks really ugly. I'm telling you, you're about to, it's about to go against you because it's about to have a sick nasty move to the upside here. You fall any further, like, you're gonna snap back. The market's not crashing. We just hit all-time highs. The market is definitely not crashing, I promise. So there's that. All right, now I'm going to quickly move through all the other tickers. NVIDIA, guys, it's really going to, come down to earnings, but considering the market is falling into that event, I think we're probably going to, start to reverse tomorrow and then, have a good daily candle into NVIDIA's earnings, which are right after the close. That's over here, guys. Oh my gosh, it's down here to 300 bucks. It is what it is, but yeah, daily RSI is back down into oversold territory. You ended up in 358.64 up here, and you ended up, just kind of falling off cliff. Was looking for 360 to 380. We did not get 380. We kind of died over here. I do think you're gonna bounce. I don't think it's the end of over here. People are really bearish on Tesla. They really don't like Elon, but I'm telling you right now, where I live at least, I see an absolute crap ton of Teslas, like sometimes like 3 in a row. A lot of people have these cars, guys. They're not the worst things and they're really fast. I don't think Tesla's going anywhere as a company. Like, people really think it's going to die. It's not. And if you really look at it, because of that, they are the largest AI company. People don't understand, like Grok, I think it was like the largest, they have the most computing power behind Grok out of anything. Tesla kind of is the largest AI company. No one's putting it together. Like, there's NVIDIA, but then there's Tesla. So, hey, that's kind of how I look at it. And maybe I'm wrong. I could be. I just, I like sticking to the charts. But that's also how I look at the company. I don't think it's going anywhere. So that's Tesla. I think it's going to get bought up. You're getting volume. I think it's capitulation volume into the golden pocket. You're right in the golden pocket now. Look on the weekly chart. I know it looks pretty ugly. I know. But where you retest, and this was an inverse head and shoulders neckline right over here. 271 up to 299.29. That was a big breakout level over there. And then you ran to the next zone. There was that. Amazon, we already talked about it, but guys, you're probably going to close above the weekly 21 EMA here. We talked about that when you came into it. I thought it was going to hold, but then you fell off a cliff. But once we started falling off a cliff, we were like, yeah, it's probably going to keep falling, and we're probably going to come down into oversold territory. So we were expecting to fall lower today, and we were saying, hey, if it does, this is the perfect opportunity. This is when you want to go heavy in the market, in my personal opinion. You have normal position sizing, and then personally, my safest trades, I've talked about this a little on this channel. I hate the fact that I'm more comfortable holding out, like just buying time on something, holding out, like knowing I'm buying at a good price and just holding out for the reversal. It doesn't have to reverse right away. I'm comfortable sitting in red. But I'm more comfortable doing that than I am riding something with momentum into fresh highs. Like over here, I'd be definitely cutting into this, and I would, think it's unsafe to buy this over here. I wouldn't think it's unsafe, but I'm saying I might be more uneasy about that than trying to buy this bottom over here. I see the daily RSI is oversold. When I see these things, I'm like, holy crap, look at that. Like, you had Meta literally come down to 640. I told you guys, if you see 640, we had a low of 641.86. I thought it was a gift over here on Meta. Daily RSI really seems to bounce back from where I have this line. I mean, technically it's like really from up here it bounces back from. But as we could see, price got down to the golden pocket here. You started finding bars. Now you have a hammer candlestick here on the daily time frame. I think like everything's about to bounce back. I don't know what else to say. That's why this video is going to be a short one. We're at 14 minutes. I'm going to try and make it under 20. I know it's more than 15, but not too bad there. Apple, I think it's probably going to continue higher. I think it could pull back something like this, pull back to 240.79, break above maybe today's high. It keeps just grinding higher here, so I don't know if it's going to pull Meta. Maybe, well, I mean, I guess it would be pulling an Apple with what it's done in the past. Maybe it does that. but maybe it also pulls back and then continues higher from there. I'm really not sure. I am not sure. Coming over here to SMH, guys. You came down. You're at the 0.786 fib. Your daily RSI, guys, is almost down to that spot you normally start bouncing back from. Again, for a while, these things have been bouncing back from the oversold conditions they have going on right now. I think we're probably about to bounce back. You have NVDA earnings, and the whole market is tanking into the event. But now you have VIX looking like this with this nice upper wick. Okay, so there is that. I went over here to SMCI, guys. You started pulling back. I actually posted about this one on Twitter, guys. I will be posting 3 charts a day over on Twitter. I'm going to try and make these as actionable as possible. Not every single one's going to be a trade idea. I'm not going to say I'm pursuing all of them, but these are going to be charts of interest that I am keeping an eye on, and they will be actionable. We said buyers are likely to either step in here at 50.61, all right, the support where you just broke above, or your most recent breakout level here at 42.88. If not here, if you take the golden pocket, all right, right underneath 42.88, you have the golden pocket. So it would probably be right here. We're just going to say somewhere in that green circle, you're going to get buyers stepping in between 38.50 and 48.88. There's that. Come over here, ARM. Trend line, retest. If you get a big bounce over here on the chips, you'll have a hammer candlestick and you'll get a retest off of this trend line here on the weekly time frame with a bullish close to the week. I don't know if you're going to get that big bounce on the chips. If NVIDIA does end up, bouncing some crazy amount, 5-10%, 5% is not crazy. You bounce 10-15% somehow, maybe everything rallies. But, the big one that I think is going to rally is over here in AVGO. You're right here on the 21 EMA here on the weekly time frame. You clearly see we got the bullish structure. You're stair stepping your way up. And guys, you're just pulling back. But, as you can see, this is exactly where you found buyers last time. You went, $2, $3 to $4 lower than the 21 EMA. That would be right here where we are pretty much. So it'd be right here. So if today was the bottom, we start reversing from there. Not sure how this is going to go, but you got earnings after tomorrow. You print a candlestick like this, all right, inside day with a nice lower wick. And then maybe gap up over here, 220 off NVIDIA earnings. That's a good look over here for it. And you probably are going to, stair step your way up here. Guys, I actually didn't cover Goog over here. You're coming into the 0.786 fib, but the daily RSI is nearing oversold territory. I do think downside is limited over here on Goog, but with how you closed over here, we can definitely slide lower tomorrow. That's Goog. All right. Daily RSI is oversold. We kind of fell off a cliff here. And you don't have anything supporting you until you get down to 385.58 58 support down there. You could draw the golden pocket, but you have now broken underneath the 0.786 fib. Not looking the best, but I can't say I think you fall much lower. That's my opinion on Microsoft. Move on over here to AMD. You're continuing to fall lower, guys. If you retest, come on. I mean, if the overall market bounces back, everything's going to bounce back. But 106.50 is resistance above there, 111.31. Come over here to MU. Bottom of the range, guys. You're just watching 84.91 to 87.76. Up here, you don't care about that. You're going to sell at the top. You're going to buy at the bottom. TSM. Now, this one that, just millions and millions and millions and millions, just straight puts. Straight puts today. Came in today over here. All the big orders were puts. And as we can see, it is looking pretty ugly. The moving averages are not loading in for some reason, but you are currently under the 21 EMA here on the weekly time frame. And that is something to take note of. Yeah, we can see right there. You are rolling over here for the first time in quite some time. It does not look the best. So, there's that. I think you're going to get a bounce, but it could just be a dead cat bounce with how it's, shaping up here. You could literally close out the week bearishly over here, unless, NVIDIA gaps you up really big and you put in a hammer candlestick off the 21 EMA. Really not sure how that's going to happen. It could close like this. It could. Not sure, though. Not sure. Underneath 187.67, you have 178.05. That is that. Okay. Now, guys, Bitcoin got that capitulation over here. Daily RSI is now down in oversold territory. I do think we're close to the bottom. I don't know if a bottom's in yet, guys. Everything has pretty ugly looks when it comes to Bitcoin land over here. You have a pretty ugly look over here on MSTR coin. pretty ugly look over here. But daily RSIs, they're getting, into oversold territory at this point. I'm really not sure. All right, let's just see. Are we in the golden pocket? Yes, we are. That's right over here. You got CLSK. You're down here. You're now undercutting support there. You had this, head and shoulders kind of look to you there, though. So there is that. Come over here to Mara. Daily RSI is absolutely in the gutters over there at 23, 23 points. This is terrible over here for Bitcoin land. Terrible. So honestly, guys, I wouldn't be touching this until it starts reversing. It's not like the overall market that just hit highs and just pulled back off of highs, and now you have Amazon daily RSI in oversold territory. It's like Bitcoin. We've known the Bitcoin stocks have not been acting right for quite some time now, and yeah, now, but yeah, Bitcoin's starting to just fall off a cliff here, and it's gonna rebound. But we want to wait and see when buyers are going to step in, because that's when you have a run that starts up. That's my opinion over there. Now coming over here, trade ideas by Henry. Over here on the MCD, McDonald's, I gave you guys this coming into the week. This was top watch, and now we have pushed up to 311.59 as the high was 311.71. So that was TP1. I'm looking for 317.90 though over here, and I want to trim or not trim. I just want to cut all of the April contracts into there. But honestly, guys, I think this is about to get a decent sized move to the upside here. You had $10 of $10 to $12 a pullback there. I think you're probably going to have $10 to $12 a pump over the probably coming week. I think this weekly candle is going to get longer here. I think you have further upside coming tomorrow. So we'll see how this plays out. But I do think, after this is just the consolidation period, guys. This is just a pullback. You're probably going to take out that high and head higher. That's what I'm thinking on McDonald's. Walmart. All right. Walmart, you bounced off of the 0.786 fib today. Daily RSI bounced off of where you bounced off of last time you were there. You were right on the 21 EMA over here at the low today. And as we can see, we're right there, 0.786 fib. This is not looking bad at all after today. You had a pretty big day. And, to think about this is a $780 billion company. A lot of money came into this company today. I think it wants to run back up the highs. I'm not sure if it's going to right away. But I will also point out you have this weekly bearish divergence here. Then again, you had weekly bearish divergence forming right here, and you just kind of grinded higher through it. Not sure what's going to happen, but this is just a pullback to the weekly short-term moving average. You've been an aggressive uptrend, haven't tested the 21 EMA here in the weekly time frame in over a year. All right, right there, over a year. So that is that. PLTR, guys, came down, bounced off the 0.786 fib today, did not test our 8480 level, but just came shy of it. 4-hour RSI is just about in oversold territory where you've got buyers stepping in the last time. I do think buyers are likely to defend down here. This a spot of interest right here on this chart, 8480. See it on the weekly time frame as well. This is the top of this previous structure. You broke above it. Now you're retesting it. You also have the short-term weekly moving averages right around here. That's where you found buyers last pullback. I wouldn't be surprised if they step in here. You at least got to move back up to $100. That's that. Cost, you did get buyers stepping in after the second day off the 21 EMA yesterday. We pointed that one out. You did get buyers today, and you got a $20 move to the upside. Trade levels, these are, the TPs. This was the trade plan. I didn't personally trade this. I want to, but, I did not. I'm salty I missed Walmart. I really am. I called it out today in the Discord before the move, like literally before the whole move. I called out in pre-market there, and I wanted to grab calls. Did not end up grabbing calls over here at Walmart though. But I was looking for a move up here into the short-term moving averages for a nice 50 to 100% gain. And yeah, March calls ended up going 100, 150% today. And yeah, they definitely moved. I was salty I wasn't there, but at the same time, I do think the market is putting in a major bottom. I think this guy right here is going to be a big one that pays. I think we're going to see this move right here to 220 plus, maybe even 225. All right. So that is pretty much what I have for you guys today. I'll just highlight over here. We had Piton, second daily hammer candlestick off this trend line. The weekly chart is really what's sexy over here. Impulsive move after this downtrend break. Broke out from this, 724 resistance, break and retest, crystal clear there. You had the 21 EMA test here in the weekly time frame. Now you're just finding buyers off there and the trend line break retest. You're finding buyers. You look like you want to push. So I think you're probably going to push back up. You come over here to Hood. This is another one that came down to, an area of interest, just like PLTR. It looks very similar to PLTR there. The LARSI is in the same spot. It bounced back from last time. You're in the golden pocket for this whole most recent advance there. You are coming into a 43.83 break and retest level. So I do think probably buyers are going to be stepping in here. I think we probably can get a move back up to 52.65 from here over the coming trading sessions. Carvana was starting to see buyers step in here for the second day off of the golden pocket, as well as a 207.08 support yesterday. We gapped up today. You have an inside bar. I think this is getting ready for a move back up here. The daily moving averages, I think 240 plus is incoming in the short term here on Carvana. LLY, you did start breaking up from the base we talked about. You've broken retests off of 846.46, and you were just basing out here for 2 weeks. You just started breaking up from that. Do you think you're starting your move to all-time highs? You consolidated after a big move here for a few weeks, 3 weeks of consolidation there, 2.5, and now you're pushing up. I think you're going to start getting that bigger move. Next one is KO over here. This is actually the last one. But, you guys can see the weekly chart that I can. This thing is just kind of, getting tight here on the week, and I think it wants to make a move. You faded that, bearish candlestick you had yesterday, and now you closed up near the high of that. You're probably going to continue higher in the short term. Those are the stocks that, I'm personally paying attention to. Other than that, I do, like I said, Amazon and Avgo over here. These are the other two big watches here. But especially over here on Amazon, this is the one that, I think it's extremely safe to go in with size here. I don't, recommend anything. I don't have any financial advice for you guys. But, I'll just tell you my opinion here. I think it's very safe to use the April expiration to capture this move to right here. That's that. All right. That's going to be paying. All right. With that being said, I'll catch you on the next one. I hope everybody has a lovely rest of the day. If you want to come trade with me, you can use code MCD for 50% off of your first payment. That is on any plan. With that being said, peace.